good morning, good morning. Hey, it's Monday morning. It ain't God good, and won't He do it? Oh yes, He will. Oh yes, He will. And I'm gonna listen to probably saying, Lee Craft, Lee Craft, Lee Craft. He said the same thing every morning. I'm gonna say Enoch, Ewok, Enoch. That means y'all sure know what to say. Hey, today is Monday morning. I got my beautiful daughter on the show this morning. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning.
Today I want to call another Medical Monday segment. Amber, I was asking you before we got on the air about autistic children. About how would you feel if you would have a child that was autistic? But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwithif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all those beautiful apps. Look for the animated black man, white beard, smiling and profiling, and finally realize y'all trying to size me up. Amber, what were we, Amber?
I don't think I would. I feel like that's a tough question. All in honesty, I don't think I would probably want a child with autism.
Really?
No.
I mean, if you had a child, we're not going to say just autistic child, just said a child with any disability. How would you feel about that?
I mean, I'll be sad because when I get older and I go to glory, it makes you think about who's going to look after my child, who's not going to take advantage of my child. And I think that's really scary.
And the reason why I said autistic in the beginning because I know that's what you deal with. You deal with a lot of kids that have autisms, but I do believe that whatever God puts in front of you, I believe you be able to handle it. You know, it's things that they're worse than having a child that has Down syndrome, a child that has autism, having a child that has sickle cells. You know, all those things, man, cause a parent anxiety for the health of their child. But to have a child that's not able to, we will feel not able to take care of themselves, that's another thing. Down syndrome, autism, but to have a child that was paralyzed at birth because of going through the birth process, or have a child born with no arms and no legs. Those things brings different dilemmas to the forefront. But I want to say to you, Amber, you are to me, you are a game changer. Nobody wants anything like that, but I believe whatever God put in front of you, honestly believe that you would deal with that.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
Because I work with the kids like that already. I know how hard it is, and I only deal with them for a few hours a day. So just imagine dealing with that for a lifetime. That's a lot of work. You have to have a lot of patience. I do feel that God does give people. Well, He doesn't actually give anyone anything because the world is full of sin anyway. So it just so happens that some people just have kids with these certain disabilities. But I feel like those people who are in those situations, God gives them extra strength um, and patience. And sometimes, even if you don't have the patience right away, you develop it. Um, but I feel like for me, it would be a lot because sometimes them kids just make you want to go to a room and just scream.
But Amber, what you just said, Amber, don't that describe everybody? Even though you're doing it for a few hours, right? And it takes time to develop to develop more patience. You already have patience now. Just say you can have I guess a normal child, and you still got patience with that child. All the problem the child bring to your door front. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between that and a child that has disabilities?
Well, particularly with autism, depending on their level or where they're at mentally, it can be a lot. I have some kids where they can listen to what you say and do as you ask. And you have some kids, if you ask them anything, they just throw a tantrum. And it's hard to communicate what you're trying to show them so they know how to do X, Y, and Z. But they think you trying to take away the fun, and it's like, no, I'm not, and it's a lot. Um, I personally, I don't know how I would deal with that because Sometimes I have to take a step back and just walk away sometimes. But when you're a parent, you have to like, it's like being injured and working with a therapist and they're trying to get their patient to push themselves to do what they need to do. As a parent, you have to put yourself into the same mind frame. You actually have to put forth that effort into getting your child to do what they need to do, whether it's from brushing their teeth to clothing themselves to eating different foods. There's a lot of things that come with autism. You have some kids who are high functioning where they're able to catch on. They just still have moments where they have bursts. But you have some kids where you literally have to start at ground zero and you have to really formulate them. It's like a project. You have to build them up, and it can be a lot for a person. And I also deal with kids whose parents are not in their lives because of that, and because it can be a lot for a person to take on. And it's sad, but it happens.
Well, since you said that, Emma, I never thought about that part. Well, I thought about that part before, but some parents are there. I guess when they have a child that's autistic, they want to be a part of the child's life. Do you feel that parent is being selfish?
Yes and no.
Give me the yes.
They're being selfish because that child did not ask to be here, and that child did not ask to come with all these things, these issues. They're new to this world, just like any other child. You just have to add extra more steps for them to be able to function. No, as in sometimes a person has the right to feel what they feel. Um, but that doesn't also necessarily mean to give up on your child too.
So, the parents that go through the rough patches with a child that has disabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give them?
Who give up?
No. I said parents have to deal with a child that have disabilities. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means being a great parent, 1 being not being a great parent, the worst of the parents. How do you grade them from 1 to 10?
If they're in their child's life and they're
trying to do everything for.
I give them a 10 because you're trying. Um, you have different parents. You have the ones who are trying, and they're in their child's life and they're doing everything to the best of their ability. They get a 10 because you're putting in effort. The people who are in their child's life and they're not making any efforts, you get a 0 in my book, because I always keep in mind that these are not going to be kids forever. They're going to be adults, and when you look at them, no one's going to see their disability, and everybody is not going to be as empathetic or sympathetic about their situation. You have some people who selfishly think like, oh, they should know better because your parent should have taught you, which is true, but at the same time, it just doesn't always work that way. So to me, if you're one of those parents who has a child with a disability and you're not putting forth any type of effort, you have a 0 in my book. And that's especially because I deal with parents who think we as RBTs and you have BCBAs implement these plans that we give them, that they think that they don't have to do them at the house. And then they come back questioning why their child is not doing whatever we taught them. But the thing is, you have to generalize that behavior. You have to do it not just at the clinic. You have to do it at the house and when you're in public environment.
Oh, that's great, Emma. She made me want to go join your class. But no, Emma, like you got it though. Emma, you got anything to give the listeners something to carry them the rest of the week?
If you are dealing with a child, no matter the age, even your adult kids, and they have a disability, the only thing I can say is be patient. If you're not in your child's life and because of the disabilities that they do have, if I were you, I would still try to make amends with my child and be there for them to the best of my ability, because they don't deserve a non-parental figure in their life and them not be there just because of their differences, because it's not fair to them and it's not fair to you because you're missing out on their milestones. So the best thing I can say is you can pray to God about your feelings, but also put forth action and also learn to be patient with your child. It's hard, but like somebody had to have patience with you, you have to give that same patience to your child.
Damn, girl, I thought that was a home run, wasn't it? Shoot, you made me proud. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that being said, like I said, hey, thank y'all for listening to the show. Amber, thank you for coming on the show. Amber, next time we come back next time, if I find you, if I find you, look, I enjoyed today's show, girl. You opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I didn't think of. So that's why you do what you do, and you're great at what you do. I do believe that. So with that being said, Disney Craft, this is my podcast. What if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound. Together, we got an opportunity to turn the whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation,
You got to have real.
if you want to have a real conversation, please, hey, find time and make time to, please find time, make time to tell God thank you. Hey, like I said, on this show, we don't edit, just like real life. You got to deal with it and live with it. Hope you figure it out. Have a blessed day.